Welcome everybody to the Bunch of Goofs podcast. Here's our host, Agent Fasha Gamer, and his co-hosts, Odacia and Hey I'm Chef. And together they are the Bunch of Goofs.
Well, hey there, everybody. I just wanted to remind y'all that Bunch of Goofs is recorded in front of a live audience during a live cast on Twitch. What's up, everybody? Random Skull here. I just wanted to let you know that Asian Fasha Gamer live streams 5 days a week.
That's right, and you can join him on those 5 days a week by checking out his schedule. He streams on Mondays at 3 p.m., Tuesdays through Thursdays at 1:30 p.m., and on Fridays at 3:30 p.m. Come join the fun and see what we do. Hello everybody, welcome to the Bunch of Goofs. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Thank you, Oda. Oh god. Need to go down a little bit. Alright, so today's topic we're going to be talking about is games with disappointing endings. And we don't mean just like disappointing endings story-wise. It could be mechanically. It could be because of DLC. It's just games that ultimately led to a disappointment at the end. Which we will start with, honestly, when I really think about it, I'm going to start with the most recent game that I played with a disappointing ending, which was Digimon Survive. And y'all can actually check out that playthrough on YouTube. It was a good game. I loved the story. I enjoyed playing it, but the ending battle was just so disappointingly easy. It was sad.
No.
Never played it, so.
It was just one of those ones where, like, it's the last boss. He's supposed to be the big bad, the one that, like, fucked up the world and everything, right? And I don't get to use all of my most powerful guys. I only get to use 3 or 4 or 5 units. And honestly, it was just such an anticlimactic battle. It was like, why? Why did I level up all of these characters, get all of these important points, when I can't use them at the end battle?
Because the game says so.
Thank you, Chef. I know. That's the obvious point. Captain Obvious coming in for a win.
Plot point. Plot says so.
No, it's a plot missed the point.
Yeah, no, plot straight up missed the point because it was so bad. It was so bad. And it's disappointing because everything else in the game was good. It was a great storyline. I actually liked where the story ended. It's just the last battle was just crap.
Yeah, have either of you two beaten Fallout New Vegas ever?
No.
Yes.
I don't.
But I don't
because of
remember the
games.
ending.
Well, I'm just going to say that Fallout New Vegas, before any of the DLCs, was a complete and a good game. Little rushed, buggy as crap, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
The problem is, its DLCs were where they could take their time. They took their time and did the DLCs to their full ability, and you could tell they weren't rushed. They were more polished, better written, with better endings.
Mm-hmm.
So the endings to the DLCs were so good, and the gameplay was so good that when you go to fight the second battle at Hoover Dam, it feels like clearing a regular dungeon with a slightly harder guy at the end.
Is that the same for depending upon which faction you choose?
The game, mechanically speaking, is the same idea whether you're doing it for either one. Actually, like, there's so little deviation Like the only difference is one person shooting you and the other person is throwing a spear at you.
Ah,
Okay.
But mechanically wise, it's very similar concepts where you fight through, do a couple mission objectives, get to the bad guy. He's not that much harder than anybody else. And considering it went from a level 30 game to a level 50 game with the equipment and stuff from the DLCs, I three-shot the guy.
All
so
right,
you
and
did the DLCs before you.
The game ends. The game is done. You cannot play the game after you beat the second battle of Hoover Dam.
wait, there's like no continuation afterwards?
Nope.
What the fuck?
Apparently not.
That's kind of disappointing.
It's not like Fallout 4 where you can just keep going,
That's kind of disappointing.
which is the only reason. Yeah.
There's always going to be another settlement out there waiting for your help.
Right? Someone's gonna come
Unless
out of
you play
nowhere and
new-
be like, "Hey, settlement needs your help. Settlement needs your help."
Actually, I think that's why they came up with Duca World, specifically for the people who are sick and tired of that.
Okay. And okay, so just to go into the comments here real quickly, Gabby Kund says that Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker Memory is one for him because let my poor man have his. Okay, you know what? That ending, I get why you're a little salty. I get it, but not every ending can be a happy ending. In all honesty, that contention at the ending of Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory kind of made it a good ending because it gave Erica her world, but you know, didn't necessarily give us that whole okay, they get to go back to normal thing. They also games with disappointing endings. POP 2009. You can leave and let the girl die, or revive the girl and doom everyone in the world. Where's my happy ending I spent 15 hours for? Like I said, not every game's gonna have a happy ending.
Okay, you want to talk about a game that had, like, it doesn't even have a happy ending, but they actually had to patch the ending because of how bad it was. Mass Effect 3.
Ooh.
It now has an awesome ending, and all they did was put a still image voiced over cutscene.
And it made it that much better.
That's all they did. Yeah, because there was no explanation to what happened, and I think they went a little too hard into the bad ending.
And didn't give a shit about the other endings?
No, all three were bad.
Oh.
All three of them. Originally, all three endings destroyed the Mass Effect relays. All of them.
Oh shit. Wait, there was no saving any of? There was no save everything ending?
No, you saved everybody, but nobody can do FTL anymore.
Oh. Well, fuck.
Like, everybody who came to Earth to help was stuck there.
And they couldn't go back home unless, of course, they wanted to journey for, like, oh, I don't know, a couple million years.
No. So they fixed it to where they were just damaged for two of the endings. And then they're like, well, we fixed it. They gave you a better idea of what happened in the storyline. And I'm glad they fixed it because that was literally years of my life playing the different games. Because I started playing that when Mass Effect came out.
All right, Chef, you've been sitting there, brooding and quiet. I'm gonna need you to speak up here, Mr. Smiley Pants and Captain Obvious, and give me a game that has disappointed you with its ending.
Halo 4 or Halo 5. What 343?
I didn't think that you would pick something so obvious. Damn it.
What 343 did to fucking Halo is
A travesty,
horrible.
a crime. It's
Yeah.
Canadian. That's what it is. It's straight up Canadian.
Was it a bad ending or just a bad game?
yes.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
the sad truth of it. The moment Bungie left and it came to 343 and it's just
That is why I'm horrified for Baldur's Gate 4.
The story of Master Chief should have ended with 3. That's where it should have ended.
Not turn him into the bad guy.
Not that was such bullshit.
Or what they did to Cortana.
Yeah, no, they literally
Not-
was just the biggest Deus Ex Machina ever in the worst way.
Not only that, but they also fucking took all the lore built through Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach and threw it out the fucking window.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
you know what? They should have changed the name of the game.
No, they should have just not had fucking Cortana or Master Chief in there.
no. It should have been the story of another Spartan. There were other Spartans they could have done the story off of. And then they could have
You
done
know, they
something
could've-
else.
You know, it would have been really cool if they time skipped it, and then this new threat appears, and have the exact same game.
Well, the problem is it wasn't a new threat; it was an old threat.
A really, really
That's
old
the-
threat.
It was the
New
race
to the
that got
galaxy.
rings.
New to the galaxy, new to the story threat, and have them be awoken, and you're a Spartan that's sent to deal with the problem.
I mean, the problem is the bad guys in 4 and 5. I forget what they're actually called, but they're essentially the Forerunners.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
I think it's the Predators? No.
Yeah, they're a faction of the Forerunners.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
either way,
It's-
they kind of went with you. They kind of went with your idea. They just did it with John Spartan and
Which they never
Cortana.
should have done.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. Gabby Kun says, if I spend a lot of time and money on a game again and it doesn't have an ending I want, I'll throw hands with the creator. I mean, granted, yes, I understand the sentiment in that feeling. Trust me, because you paid money for it and it's disappointing. That's gonna piss you off, yeah. But ultimately, though, for me, the creator is going to create what they create. I can't get truly mad at it. I mean, I can be disappointed at it, but I'm not going to be like, I'm going to kill you for it kind of thing.
Yeah, but
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was like, yeah, but you could be seriously disappointed in them.
Definitely. Because you have every right to be disappointed. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And if you think it was a shit ending, then it's a shit ending to you. It's valid. I mean,
Yeah.
like, as much as I hate to bring it up, you know what was just absolute shit?
There's a lot.
That's a long list.
Mirror Edge.
I never played the full story. The mechanics were fun.
Yes, that's the thing. The mechanics were so fun, and the graphics were great because it pushed the limits of what was available at the time, which was great. And then you got to the story of it, and it was so fractured and not written. It was like, okay, what's the point of putting a story in the game then? Ooh, let's see.
Yeah,
What? Oh,
I'm
sorry.
gonna disqualify games like 7 Days to Die and Ark. 'Cause they don't actually have a story.
Well, I mean, they do technically have a story, but
Please,
it's,
that's what I froze.
it's. Oh, are you here? Are you here? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? I see you
Can
moving.
you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the chef is still frozen, or he's just really intently looking.
No.
I'm texting.
Chef is he's doing things. He's participating, but he's doing things. But shit, what were we talking about before you talked about shit?
Oh,
Ark and.
Oh, yeah. So,
Ark
yeah,
and Seven Days to Die.
Those games definitely do technically have a story, but in all honesty, when it comes down to the story, that's like a side point. It's not the game. The game is survival, dinosaurs, and weird shit. But when it comes to like, sorry,
The story came later for Ark.
yeah. But I'm more talking about games that have established stories, like Assassin's Creed or something like that, or. You know what? In all honesty, me personally, I'm going to bring this game up because I do love Elden Ring. I do. But I am disappointed that in Elden Ring, we have 4 or 5 different endings, and 3 of the endings are the same ending with a different color tree.
Ooh.
I mean, really? Really? That's the best you could make for me. You get, like, at least 2 of the other endings were fucking amazing, but 3 of them were just so cookie cutter, it made me sad.
What's funny is, like, aside from a couple of games, most of the games I've played, I'm a person that waits
Mm-hmm.
and gets feedback, so I avoid a lot of the webpack games because, like, I think that. Have you ever played any games that you bought and you can actually return it because you never actually got anywhere in the game?
Let me think. What game did I buy and immediately return because I just couldn't take it?
I
I
don't
have-
return games. I just keep them and not play them.
Yeah.
Well, I rented a game and I brought it back 2 hours after I rented it and told them to take it off the shelf.
What was the game?
Superman 64.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's one. That definitely counts. Superman 64 is a contender for worst game of all time.
Yeah, like the game, literally, somebody was bored and an AI had a hard time completing the first flying mission.
It's badly coded. The controls didn't work properly. Like half the time you were trying to go up and somehow you went left. Why?
What's really bad is half the time at the same speed you wouldn't turn very sharply, and then all of a sudden you would bank and do a 180.
And it's just, you couldn't get anywhere. You spent almost 3 hours in the beginning of the game just trying to get from stage 1 to half of stage 1.
Yeah, it pissed me off so much. What's really funny is that it stayed on the shelf, but there was a tag on the game that said, "Let people know this game sucks." Oh, I also worked at this video store.
You know what? Yeah, that video store did a service. That was a service.
Yeah, but thankfully I knew the boss, the owner, really well, and he's like, "Well, I can't throw the game out." And I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, "Cause."
You pay. They,
He's like,
they
"Oh, yeah, but
paid
you
to
need to
put it
put
on
it-"
the shelf, so they gotta try. You know,
Yeah, I know.
it's like the
But-
sex coat you bought in D and Doofs. They had to try to sell it.
But what's really funny is he did let me stomp on the cartridge.
It deserved it. I'm sorry, it deserved it. See, I don't know the name of the game. I really hate it, but I used to play it back when I was 7 or 8. It was about a blue and red cat trying to go through stages, but every jump has a ton of spikes and shit. Huh. You're rebooting your PC? Okay.
Was it
Yeah,
Red
I think
and
that's
Stimpy?
part of my. Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say, Chef?
Was it Ren and Stimpy? Because that game was fucking horrible.
Or, you know what game was also terror? Like, it was just it's Slogfest. Honestly, actually, now that I think about it, almost every Disney game that came out for
I
the
am
Super
frozen
Nintendo.
on your stream.
What? Are you?
I'm not now. Wait, yep, nope, now I am. Maybe. Nope, I'm. Your connection's saying no.
My connection's good.
Yeah.
At least on my end, it says it's good.
I mean, it's good now.
I might have had a small hiccup. Excuse me. Chef is really hard to hear. That might be because he's being really quiet and not speaking up because he's being a butt.
I'm sorry. I am dealing with shit.
I know, I love you. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to cheer you up by being an asshole, because that's what I'm good at.
It's continuing on. So.
There we go. Is there more stuff going on, or is
Yes,
without
there's a
leaving?
lot more going on.
All right. Without revealing too much, obviously, you know. Mum's
And
the
Oda's
word.
back.
All right, welcome back, Oda.
Greetings.
That was not a hic. No, that was a burp. That was a burp, not a hiccup. All right, Gabby Kun, do you sleep well, my friend? Thank you so much for being here for today's Bunch of Goofs livecast podcast on Twitch. I appreciate you. All right, so oh, sorry. Go on.
Go ahead. If you had an idea, go ahead.
So yeah. We were talking about games that are, you know, just had disappointing endings, but it's kind of leading into just like games that were either bad or just really, really, really fucking hard. Because I'm thinking about like every Disney game that was made for the Super Nintendo.
Lion King, Aladdin.
Who here actually made it? So I can't wait to be king.
You know how it took me like, I think 4 days to get through that one.
Never did.
I made it through one time.
Fuck you.
And then I never played the game again.
You're like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm not touching this again.
Well, I made it to the very end and fucked something up and died when I could see the finish line. And then I was just like, nope. It's been days. Fuck this. I'm done. Because there were no checkpoints back then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what game? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's one game that I was in the beta, and I actually found this out much later, that I was not the only person by a margin for this. Final Fantasy XIV, the original game, half the people who bought the special edition in order to get into the beta got their money back.
Really? Why? Wait, why?
Horrible. The game was so bad they had to shut it down and redo the whole game. There's a reason it's called A Realm Reborn. They took the servers down and redid the entire game. A Realm Reborn is actually a sequel to the original Final Fantasy XIV, because the original Final Fantasy XIV, they tried to patch it all they could, and they just couldn't get it to work.
That sucks. I didn't know. I had no fucking idea.
And of course it was during WoW's heyday, so a lot of people are like, I'm just going back to WoW. Screw this.
Oh, that must have fucked them.
I didn't have any actual experience with this, but I've heard nothing but people bitch about it. But World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandoria.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? You want to hear about it? You want to hear about it? Because let me tell you about it. It was by far the most single, disappointing, most convoluted quest lines, most broken fucking headquarter area that had the least amount of interesting things to do, yet it had so much to look at for no reason. Fuck Mr. Pandaria.
Also, keep in mind, they made a patch in that game. They edited I was playing a hunter. They finally got rid of the minimum distance for hunters. And I was so excited for it. And then I played the game over a weekend and beat all of the content they had at launch.
You know how sad that is? For an MMO?
And I'm not a hardcore gamer. Like, I knew people who, like, I actually, ate, talked to my wife, went to sleep at a normal hour. I didn't go totally, I knew one guy, he slept for 3 hours that weekend. Because he was so excited. Because it was launch weekend.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I had friends that no-lifed World of Warcraft because it was their thing. Granted, I'm no better. I have no room to speak because I did the same thing with EVE Online back in the day.
Oh, dude, back during Wrath of the Lich King and early Kata, me and my wife both played all the time. While World of Warcraft is why she will never own a PC game again.
Oh, damn. It was that bad.
The group we were in turned that bad. She wasn't healing properly. And people wanted to know why, as a tank, if that guy pulled, I wouldn't pull the aggro back.
Gotta love people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was the guy who had no life. He was on disability. And he had like one of the most powerful ways you could make a healer, because he min-maxed the crap out of everything. Because seriously, I wanted to look at this guy and go, hey, take some of your money and some of your time and go get a blowjob or something. Seriously. Because he was just rude. Like, you had to play the game perfectly in his eyes. And we were a casual raiding guild.
We're a casual raiding guild.
Actually, he left for a better guild because we wouldn't improve to his standards.
Ah. Trying to think of games like aside from
Halo,
Well, I
that
mean-
disappoint you?
any COD after Black Ops 2.
Okay, but we're trying to talk about, like, at least games that have story that disappoint you.
They have story.
I know Call of Duty has story, but in all honesty, I actually kind of enjoy some of this Call of Duty campaigns.
Advanced Warfare, fucking the one after that, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, fucking those all had horrible fucking stories.
Mm.
Ghost story was actually pretty good, but the multiplayer was fucking horrible.
Keep in mind, you're talking to somebody who stopped playing Call of Duty after World at War.
Yeah,
Modern Warfare 1.
I played all the way up to Black Ops 2.
I thought of another game that I recently tried to play, and the freaking remaster was so bad I couldn't play it.
Hmm.
Chrono Cross.
Was
Yeah,
that a
you-
remaster,
you-
or was that just a port?
That was They had to actually remake the game because somehow Square lost the original game,
Mhm.
so they had to go get a PlayStation disc and reverse engineer the game because they didn't have the password anymore.
It was literally a remastered port, so they spent extra money to send it out, and nobody liked it.
Yeah, it's like
It was-
one, the game hasn't aged well at
No.
all.
It didn't age well because they tried to, like, meld in some weird ass cinematic sequences that just it didn't work. It
Oh
didn't
no,
work.
I'm not even getting that far. I'm talking about the combat system.
Oh, the combat system was just bad.
Like, please, there is a reason why we have fight magic item. There's a reason this works. Please, go. That's why Chrono Trigger was such a great game.
Well, it's because Chrono Cross was trying to bring in some of the elements from another game. I forgot what it's called. It's like Valder or something like that. It was an older PlayStation 1 game that had...
Voltron?
No, not Voltron. It was the predecessor to Devil May Cry. Voltron, you son of a bitch. It was...
Thundercats.
Sir!
Earthworm Jim.
Sir! Stop throwing out random franchise! Earthworm... Oh, man. Earthworm Jim, though. That was a fun game.
I love that game.
Nuke 'em.
I'm here
There's-
to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
All right.
Yeah.
I know.
That was actually my entry for a bad game.
Oh.
The last one, they literally were like, "Hey, let's remake a game that was popular with teenagers in the '90s and not change anything."
And make it 3D.
20 years later,
Here's my problem with Duke Nukem, and I know we don't get political on here, but how the fuck can Duke Nukem not get canceled, and yet Earthworm Jim is canceled?
Because of a scene with a dog and babies. What
Duke
the fuck?
Nukem.
The amount of, like, 5 minutes into the game, and you hear shit that Duke says that, like, what the fuck? Did he just say that?
This dude is Johnny Bravo with a vulgar mouth.
The dude is Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo with Donald Trump's mouth.
no. But that game, I'm sitting here like they go from strippers to pig strippers.
Yeah,
There's also a scene.
and yet Earthworm Jim's canceled.
The fuck?
There was also a level in Duke Nukem 3D, if I remember correctly, where you literally shot baby carriages that were coming into you. Yeah.
I was never huge on Duke Nukem anyway.
I preferred
I just find
Serious
it
Sam.
bullshit. Not the one that just came out. I remember you trying to play that.
Well, I had fun with that.
You couldn't make it off the beach.
'Cause I suck! There's a difference!
Yeah, fucking part of that is your goddamn intro screen. All you see is a fucking deagle bam, 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 and fucking going high as shit into the fucking camera.
I tried to adjust, I just didn't know how to. You know, I'm the dude, I don't use guns, okay? Okay? I don't play a lot of shooter games. As you can
Well,
tell.
you should play shooter games.
I mean, I'm kind of interested in Fragpunk.
Fragpunk looks good.
It looks like a
Especially
lot
after
of fun.
Especially after watching the showcase yesterday.
Um,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know it doesn't really have anything to do with the exact topic that we're talking about, but kind of does because I brought up COD. I'm actually very seriously debating giving Black Ops 6 a chance.
You're gonna give it a chance, you're gonna get pissed off, and you're gonna say, fuck this shit, and you're gonna be out.
I'm not gonna spend any money on it because it's coming to Game Pass day one. So it's not like I'm really gonna lose out.
That's true.
But they're bringing back so many old COD era features and shit. The prestige system's going back to the way it used to be. They seem to be focusing more on the 6v6 3-lane maps. They're dropping with 16 brand new fucking maps.
So,
No remakes of old ones.
wait a minute. Are you actually saying that they might be listening to their game base? To their player base?
Well, now that Xbox owns Activision, yeah. Because Phil Spencer loves Call of Duty.
I will say the new. I might actually be getting Game Pass here in October.
Excuse me.
I mean, in my opinion, it's worth it because you have access to so many fucking new games, and especially since like the Xbox game showcase that happened yesterday, they debuted like 24 fucking games or some shit. 99% of them are coming to Game Pass day one.
Please tell me they fixed Blizzard.
Excuse me.
They're working on it.
Fire all the people you hired in the last 10 years and go get the people that were working there 11 years ago and rehire them.
Go
The
find.
problem with Blizzard's not the people that they hired in the last 10 years. It's the people running the place for the last 20.
Yeah, his name is Bobby Kotick. He's a big giant dick. You can tell I have feelings about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Let's see. The new Dragon Age is coming to fucking Game Pass, which I can't fucking wait. I've never played a Dragon Age, but this one looks very D&D like, so I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
As long as it doesn't have as many microtransactions as the last Dragon Age had, I'm down.
I ignored those.
Like I said, I've never played one, so. Then I'm trying to think what else. Fragpunk's coming to Game Pass. I'm trying to think of like big name. Oh, fucking Gears of War is back.
You forgot one. Fable.
Oh fuck yeah. Well, hey, that segues into a game that I was going to talk about, Fable 3.
Disappointment.
The most horrible Fable there was.
Are you ready to want to cry?
It's your favorite, isn't it?
No, it's the only one I've ever played.
You've never played Fable 2 or 1?
Fable
Nope.
1,
Aww.
Fable 1 and 2 are very, very good. And they actually go together very well. Fable 3 takes you out of the whole realm of Fable 1 and 2. Like, it basically turns you more or less into a politician, for the lack of a better term.
And puts you into colonial times.
Yes.
And
like in
I did
Fable
not like
1 and
that.
2, Fable 1 and 2 is much more high fantasy.
Yeah. And, you know... Oh, sorry.
Oh, they're also on Game Pass, too.
And, of course, you know, you can get the, what is it? The Chicken Chucker title.
Oh, God. You actually pick up chickens and throw them.
Yeah, and then you get a title for it. You also get evil points for throwing chickens, too.
Yes.
You can also eat live baby chickens, which you get more evil points for, and they're crunchy.
I really want to do an evil, because I've never done one. I want to do an evil run of Fable.
You've never done an evil run of Fable? Oh, it's so much.
No.
It's so much fun.
I like evil runs like after I beat them playing good, but evil runs are just fun. Like evil runs in Red Dead Redemption 2, hilarious.
Yeah, I've never been good at doing the evil runs ever.
A little bit off topic, but since we're talking about evil runs,
Okay.
you know what I really want to do? I want to campaign a D&D game where everybody plays a villain and the heroes are the bad guys.
You have to be really careful that you have a good group.
I know.
Because I've done that before and it ended horribly because two people were like, we were both looking at them wondering if we should call the police to have them investigated because of the stuff they were coming up with. And I'm not talking in a fun way. I'm talking in a, what do you want to do to that orphanage?
I mean, that's the thing. You have to go in realizing that it is going to be nothing but a clusterfuck and super fucked up, and you're going to leave every session going, what the fuck did we do?
Yeah, the thing is, there's a difference when when a couple of people go over and beyond what the party's doing.
I mean,
Into levels of, we're just looking at them, we're like, can you not do that? They do it twice.
I mean, not to be devil's advocate, but at the same time, people do the same thing whenever they're playing a rogue.
True.
Or playing a paladin.
I mean,
or a cleric.
Okana, to be fair, war crime levels that's subjective. In certain campaigns, that's just constantly happening.
Everything's a war crime the first time. Or nothing's a war crime the first time.
It's not a war crime the first time. But
bang out.
Yeah, no. Okay. There was one guy. I don't think you should ever do an evil campaign if there's a female involved, just because some people are just bad. No, that's just dangerous. Yeah. 2, you have people who try to actually do that to every NPC they can find with an all-male group, and the DM goes, "No, I am not acting this out."
Well, that's why you put limits on what they can do.
That, and it's just like, yeah, even if there's not limits, I mean, come on.
That's why I said you have to be careful.
You're trying to be evil. You're not trying to. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys. There's a game, a D&D game that I bought a couple of years ago when it came out. It was a fun game, but Endgame was such a pain in the dick. I'm trying to find it.
One of the things I want to bring up while you're doing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very rarely do you find a first-person shooter RPG style game that has a challenging end boss.
Shit.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I wasn't paying attention.
Games like Mass Effect, Fallout, most of those games, especially if they have a leveling system, are very easy to basically steamroll the bad guys.
I can think of one. I mean, I've already brought it up, but Halo. But that's not really an endgame boss, so to say.
You also don't level up in that game in Halo.
No, but it's an endgame. It's an endgame level. It's the stressful part is the fucking situation.
It's just.
Oh.
There's a reason difficulties get as insane as they do in some of these first-person games.
I mean,
Doom. Endgame boss of Doom, of just about any Doom, is a fucking shit show and a half.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know though. The last boss of the Doom Eternal DLC.
Well, I'm talking main game. I don't really buy DLCs because you have to buy them.
True. Well, no, because the Doom DLC we got for free.
Did we?
Yeah, they gave it to you after a while.
I wasn't super like Doom up until Eternal was fun. I didn't really like Eternal.
You weren't a big fan of it?
No, it's something about the gameplay mechanics.
Okay, I can respect that.
I haven't had a chance to play it.
Ooh, that actually just reminded me of another game. Game series, fucking fantastic. Up until you got rid of all the main characters and went on with a new group of characters. Gears of War 4 and 5.
Ooh, that.
I know that is going to be like that's going to be a trigger point for some people because Gears fans are fucking insane, almost as much as Halo. But I do not like Gears 5. I still haven't finished it.
I couldn't finish Gears 4.
Fucking what was it? Marcus's son is not a leader. I don't give a shit. And I do not like, what is her name, Kat?
Yeah. It's because Kat doesn't have any substance in her character. Like, they try to give her something, but the lines that they give to her voice actress suck.
Kat is just boring.
She's like she's your stereotypical mysterious, unknowable bitch lady.
I think you just summed up every video game series that should have died. I got another good one, but I don't know if you two will be familiar with it.
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 13, Lightning Returns.
That was horrible.
Negative. I am not a Final Fantasy person.
I'm a Final Fantasy person, and I've never played the game because I know how bad it is. Because they just said what the mechanics were, and I went, no.
See, the mechanics could have been interesting. Could have. Keyword. But they weren't because of how convoluted the menu system was in the UI. And then, on top of the fact that the characters... I wanted to punch all the characters. I wanted to punch them all in the face. They were so annoying. They were like a bunch of fucking whiny-ass little bitches. It was like watching Scott Pilgrim vs. World. I wanted to punch everybody.
I like that movie.
I'm sorry. I want to punch the guy. He's just a whiny bitch.
I don't know. I like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Actually, my main problem with Final Fantasy Lightning Returns is Final Fantasy is not a single character game. You're supposed to have a party. There's supposed to be multiple people. There's supposed to be some story between the people. It's not just supposed to be one person who literally was on the cover of the second game who literally had less screen time than the freaking Chocobos.
Chocobo.
But, you know, that's kind of on... I don't know. That was during the time where Square Enix was just kind of going downhill.
Alright, I know I bought this game. Where the fuck is it?
You didn't buy it.
Dude, that game was actually, I literally think whoever was, like, I think that's what happened. Like, I think whoever was supposed to make that series got halfway through the second game and quit. Because halfway through the second game, the second game felt like half a game to me. And it felt like they put the monsters in there because they couldn't think of a third character.
And they just had to throw something in there.
So basically they're like, hey, Pokemon's popular, gotta catch them all.
Yep.
And Lightning Returns, only one game I have ever played with a time cycle to it that I liked was Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It was Dark Alliance.
Dark Alliance.
The newest D&D game. Well, not newest, but the D&D game that came out before Baldur's Gate. I don't even see it on my list anymore, which is kind of scary. But that's the one that the very Dark Alliance 1 had was the game that Drizzt came from.
Well, game that Drizzt was first shown in game, because he came from the books, remember?
Yeah, I'm saying the first game he came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Dark Alliance, like, it was a fun game, only if you had people to play with them. If you didn't have people to play with, it got boring real quick.
See, another game, in my opinion, which I know people will disagree with me, had a horrible ending, and I fucking hated it. And honestly, like, people have given me all kinds of their arguments about, oh, no. I've heard them all. None of them circumvent the fact that it makes it a horrible ending and that it fucked over what was set up in the very beginning, which is StarCraft Heart of the Swarm. Kerrigan's ending just shat all over the prophecy, and I fucking hate it. And like I said, nothing anybody has ever said or will say has changed that viewpoint or will ever change that viewpoint. It was a shit ending, and I fucking hate it because all of that buildup, it pretty much just made the Protoss irrelevant, which was just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, oh fuck, I just had it too. It was another game that was gonna be No Man's Sky.
Ooh.
I don't give a shit what anybody says. I hate No Man's Sky.
I mean, it's not your kind of game for sure, but I will say that No Man's Sky is better now, but on release, definitely.
I went back and tried to play it again. I still don't like it.
As like I said, I'm guessing I can feel it's not your kind of game because you don't like Bethesda games. So something like No Man's Sky, with how tedious it is, would definitely not be your kind of thing.
You know why I hate No Man's Sky? It's not even. I didn't even get far enough in the game for the tedious part to fucking piss me off.
Okay.
I landed on a planet, and there was supposed to be like gas coming out of like vents and shit on the planet. It was so bugged out. It was nothing but black, big ass pixels coming out of this fucking ground, not even with the vent, and blocking my entire view.
I need to go back to something that Faja said.
No, because I don't really want to have that conversation. I said this specifically because I don't want to have a conversation.
It's actually nowhere near as bad as you think.
Right, but all right.
I freaking agree with you. They did Kerrigan. I never liked the fact they made her a good guy.
That's not the problem.
No, but then you had to like become a god. What the frack?
See, it would have made sense if she would have became a god and actually incorporated Protoss DNA into the swarm. Then it would have made sense. Because then the prophecy would have been coming to fruition. Because that was the whole point. The whole point of the prophecy stated that both the Protoss, all three, that humanity, Protoss, and Zerg needed to come together. And they didn't.
I'm sorry, every time I hear the word Zerg, I think of the fucking bad guy that Buzz
Emperor
Lightyear fights.
Zerg!
But yeah, no. Blizzard, my own problems, but let's move along.
Oh shit, there was another game that I just saw here. I mean, one that everybody knows is Anthem.
Oh my god, that game made me so mad.
See, I love the game.
That is one of the few games where I actually bought for a refund.
See, I love the game.
Thankfully, I didn't pay for it.
I paid for it. I love the game, but the thing that I hate about it, like everybody, it's like, there's no end game content because you guys went through it in like fucking 5 minutes and then started crying that there was nothing there. Loot drops suck. Wait for the fucking first update, you jackasses.
Okay, well, do you know what my problem with that game was?
What's that?
If you didn't have a solid state drive, it was almost unplayable to play multiplayer.
Xbox.
I'm just telling you what happened to me was my old computer has a disk drive, and their code was so badly written that I would load up very slowly. And when I loaded up, I was loaded at the start point. Well, they were too far ahead. I couldn't catch up. So it would teleport me to their current location.
I'll teleport you to my current
And
location,
it would
baby.
start loading, and it would start loading. And then by the time it finally loaded me in, it didn't load me into where they were right now. It loaded me into where they were when it first started loading. So they were already too far away. So literally the entire mission, I was loading, kicked. And it happened every time I multiplayed.
That fucking sucks.
You know another major game that we haven't mentioned yet, but we've mentioned the creator of it.
Oh? Wait,
What?
what?
Destiny 2.
Oh god. No. I don't want to talk about Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 hurt everybody's feelings.
It
And continues to hurt everybody's feelings. I am convinced that people that still play Destiny 2 fucking suffer from Stockholm Syndrome.
I do not get how Destiny 2 fans stand the constant disrespect that they get from the developers. Like every time it's like that one commercial, you know? Oh, I got $1. You almost got it. Whoop, whoop.
I can't stand the fact that Destiny 2 has been out for so long that they have so many storyline campaigns that they have vaulted half of them and you cannot play them. So if you start the game right now, you can only start halfway through the story.
Yep.
Oh.
You don't have a choice. Like there's no going back to the first campaign parts because they're gone. Even though you have new player base coming in that are a little bit fucking confused while they're in the middle of the story.
And not only that, but a lot of the exotics and shit that you got from those got vaulted too.
Fuck that You know how I remember how many people got pissed off when that update rolled out. Like when the first vaulting update rolled out.
I was still in the middle of some of those storylines. I still had the quests that were active and I couldn't get rid of them.
Because they just...
Seriously?
You didn't even have the chance to.
They wouldn't let you abandon them because they were main storylines. And they vaulted the storylines so that you can't play them anymore.
I haven't I'm going to switch games to one that I know Faja likes,
Eh,
but I just can't get into it.
eh.
The Forest.
No,
Huh?
I can understand why. I can definitely understand why. In all honesty, me personally, I will say that the ending for The Forest is
What ending? I never could get that far because the game irritated me too much.
there is
So
an ending.
the reason I hate the forest is because it's truly open world. You don't play the story unless you magically find the points with the story point there.
Yep.
And that's what pissed me off. I'm like, can I get some hints? Like, can I actually have a hint in the plane pointing me? I don't even want a quest marker. Just give me a piece of paper with an image of 3 trees and a lagoon. That's an area that I can try to find that matches this description that starts the quest chain with breadcrumbs. Give me something.
I will say that they did fix that in Sons of the Forest. It's more linear in the sense that you start with clues to tell you where to go. It doesn't make it any better because they still kind of go with that whole open worldness that, will make Chef want to rip out his hair and his beard and his eyelashes.
No, because you know what happened in the forest when I played it?
You got mobbed?
I didn't play it. It became Ark. It became a base builder.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of what it is, though. It's a lot of fun to build the base.
Yeah, the problem is some of the stuff's locked behind the quest rewards from the main story.
Yeah, you had to go find...
that you can't find the missions for.
Which,
Unless you magically happen upon this random ass shack in the middle of fucking nowhere. Or this fucking hole in the ground that, you have to go through and kill, babies that are jumping at you and shit.
And they only really, really, really made exploring really horrifying when you go from these people to why does it have 16 legs and 20 arms? And why is it trying to eat me? Why did it just break my base? What's going on? I want my mommy!
Why is this baby jumping 30 feet at my face?
And why does it have no eyes and 6 toes? On
why
one
does it have
face?
one really strong leg?
Is this a polymorph face hugger?
Yeah. Now,
I would love to go to YouTube and find those story playthroughs that people do of games. I want to find one just to know what the fucking story was.
That's what I was kind of doing on mine, but I stopped because I have other projects to do. I will say, I do know the story. It's interesting, but at the same time, it's kind of like one of those, they could have done more stories.
I mean, it's the same thing with Subnautica.
True.
Here's a big open world. We're not going to teach you how to play. Figure it out.
The thing is, Subnautica gave you the radio broadcast to guide you eventually.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, it's just one of those things of hey, we're going to throw you in the shit, and you're not going to know what the fuck to do. Have fun.
Hey, at least they didn't give you these guys that show up randomly, unannounced, and just bulldoze your base.
Not true. Not true. You could make friends with some.
No, the really big the really big multiple head and arm mutant things, it just went right through my walls, wrecked half of my base. I didn't have guns yet.
See, as soon as you see them coming, you just run outside your base, throw a spear, and haul ass into the forest. They follow.
How would I have known to do that?
Exactly. I only did it because I accidentally lit one on fire and went, oh fuck.
Now I'm on fire. Now it's fast and on fire.
Yeah.
All right, this is a little bit of an awkward place to do this, but we have been live for an hour, and I think it's a good time for us to take a small break. I gotta go pee and check on my dogs. So, everybody, we are going to do a little bit of a be right back. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, Chef, and Oda. Appreciate y'all. And not to, shoot myself in the foot, but shut up. I am getting really, really close to being able to get to that point of actually having...
Oh, you're edging?
Shut the fuck up. Having the edited points of bunch of goofs done so that I can start posting it both on YouTube and Spotify for everybody to enjoy the episodes so they don't have to be here live, just in case. But you do get the episodes live and new when you are here, because the episodes are going to start with episode 1 as I start posting them. So,
Ugh.
there's that. Now, as he takes his yawn, we are going to take a break. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all.
Well, hey there, everybody. Did you know that Asian Fascia Gamer has a Patreon?
That's right, everybody, and we're here to tell you about it together.
Subscribers have a chance to see content early, as well as request content on higher tiers.
That's right. You can ask Asian Fashion Gamer to read you a story, talk to you about lore or gameplay, or many other things.
But wait, there's more.
Subs that have been stayed around for 3 months or longer get special gifts. And if we reach our stretch goal of 10 subs or more, we will continue to add more to the Patreon, making it better for all of you.
So please consider, at the very least, checking out Asian Fascia Gamer's Patreon. Maybe subscribing and supporting him. And of course, we thank you for your time. Well, hey there, everybody. Mr. Announcer here. I just wanted to take a second of your time to show you that Asian Fascia Gamer is on all of these social medias. He's on TikTok, he's on Twitter, he's on Instagram, he's on Threads, he's on Facebook. He's a little bit of everywhere. So if you want to continue to support Asian Fascia Gamer, check out the links in his link tree.
I have a feeling that there's something we need to do for a Be Right Back screen. Now that we're back live.
Something you think we need to do for a Be Right Back screen? What would that be?
Yes. You remember my Be Right Back screen when I was streaming?
Uh-huh.
The one where I act like I, have no idea who I am type of shit and take over the stream for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
We all need to do that.
Like, for a bunch of goofs, Be Right Back?
Yeah, just like me taking over a Be Right Back screen, and then there's another one where you do it, and and then one where Oda does it, and we just fuck around and waste a bunch of time and shit.
I'm okay with that. Although, I think Oda's frozen. Oda, are you there? Hello?
No, he's there.
Oh, there you go.
He's moving.
He froze for me for a second.
I just had a really funny idea of filming, like actually doing the intro for me and my wife's YouTube videos.
Like, what do you mean?
Hello, I'm Laura. I'm Joe. This is Asian Fascia Gamer. We're here to help you while he's away.
I mean, if y'all want to do that, one, that would be fucking adorable. And two, yeah. Also, while we're here and just talking about, like, that kind of stuff, another thing that I did want to bring up, because I am getting closer to that point of being able to post the D and Doofs and bunch of goofs. Do y'all want to help me advertise and, like, make your own personal things to let people know you're part of this project and where it's going to be posted?
I do what I want.
I've already told you today. I actually added a streaming announcement tab to my personal Discord page.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure and ask. And also,
my
Chef,
wife's as well.
That's not a yes or a no. What's your fucking answer?
I do what I want.
You suck. You're the one who gave me the suggestion in the first place.
If I gave you the suggestion, what the fuck do you think the answer is?
Well, I still have to ask to be polite. I'm not gonna assume that you're just gonna do stuff.
I will kick you in the taint.
Hey, we need to do that in the late night stream on a different service.
No, no.
While we're all
no.
sitting here. This has nothing to do with our topic, but
I was about to say, wait, what does kicking you in the taint bring you into this one?
We need to come up with a name for the recap stream that we do for D and Deuce.
Ooh.
I have an idea.
Oh, okay.
Fucking the campfire.
You're a campfire. All right.
Why do you want to fuck the campfire?
Don't fuck the campfire.
Fucking road trip in a car T.
Or actually, you could just call it the pit stop.
I like
The
both
title
of those
that makes sense.
ideas. Honestly.
camping in camping in a car T.
Yeah. I do like both of those ideas. I'm gonna have to mull them over.
I mean, we have to come up with something with the car T though, because like, so what got me thinking about the idea when you and I talked about it was not another D&D podcast.
One thing to note is that the CAR-T is a regular transition scene or stinger that I created
know.
for. Yeah.
I
I
thought of another idea we could call it. Road trip.
Yeah. But no, the reason I came up with the idea was because not another D&D podcast does it, and they call theirs the short rest. And since we use the CAR-T as a campfire, as our stereotypical campfire scene,
Yeah.
you know, we've
gotta-
got to
yeah.
call it something to do with the CAR-T.
I like that. Let's like brainstorm a little bit with that one and mull over some ideas because I do want to have some name involving the card.
Something to do with it. I mean, the road trip sounds good. Pit stop is good.
Okay. Normally I try to steer away from doing this, but I do have to do this at least once because of what just happened. I'm addressing TikTok for anybody who's not getting this. This is probably going to be cut out from the actual episode, but either way. Thank you so much, Frankie, for that galaxy. You are fucking awesome. I appreciate the shit out of you. We are live on Twitch right now doing a bunch of Goofs Livecast podcasts. We do every Monday, and of course, if you're ever wondering about my regular schedule, I actually have it posted on the scheduling area of my info tabs of my Twitch. I also need to work on actually creating a schedule graphic at some point so that I can post that, but that's a future thing. Not you!
Fine. I'll do that one too.
Oh my god, I wasn't saying that anyways. I was gonna probably...
Let me okay, listen here. You know gonna ask me. You always ask me. I need a fizzy bubble.
Okay, you get the fizzy boobala.
Wait, is it
Huh?
Is it raspberry?
It's orange. Orange fizzy boobala.
Yeah, Fuzz has got you so darn busy. I just gave up asking you personally.
Dude, it's not even Alan. It's fucking everything else.
I'm just trying to get him
I don't even have to. I barely have time to fucking game anymore.
I'm just trying to get him continuously motivated to do his book because I want to see him write more. And I'm interested in the story because the more you tell me, the more I want to fucking read it. And I'm just sitting here waiting for something.
The best part is the shit that I'm telling you is like behind the scenes grand overarching shit.
It doesn't.
It's not even stuff that's gonna be directly in book number 1. It's shit that's gonna be spread out over 7 books.
It's still interesting enough. Like it's an interesting enough hook for me to want to start reading it, and I just need you to start writing it. I need more than that prologue you gave me.
Hey, I'm working on character profiles and destinations and shit like that.
Right. Yeah. You're making your meat and 1 second. Hey. Excuse you. Hey. Anyways, sorry about that. Yeah. So you're.
You know, if I had my way, I would literally I would do what Aragon did with the books.
What do you mean?
Where each book's gonna be a different color. So envy. This one's envy, and literally the title of the book is the color of envy. It's going to be. It would be green.
Yeah.
Wrath would be red. Pride would be fucking something. I don't know. Lust, obviously pink.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know, speaking of books, I am actually almost done with chapter 2. Which I did take everything you said into consideration.
Okay. Sorry, I read more than I do fucking anything else, so...
Nah,
aside from work.
It's also why I know I rely on you for a lot, but also, you know, really appreciate your eye when it comes to what I'm writing. So, and I know you know, if when I send it to you, I don't expect you to read it right away. I know you got a lot of shit in your hands.
No, they're clean.
Shut up.
I cooked earlier. They're clean.
You know what I meant, you asshole.
That
I don't
would
know
get
why
them dirty again.
I was gonna say, why is it always with the analogies of stuff coming out the other end? Asshole, shit in my hands, fucking.
Probably for the same. He has a shit obsession. Why do you think he has to go to the bathroom every hour?
No, it's called getting old.
So little fun fact: I may or may not, just because I played fucking Baldur's Gate with you two, one of my characters may or may not be a red tiefling battle mage.
Of course you did a battle mage. Gotta do the battle mage.
So there are different iterations of the battle mage, but it's not called a battle mage in like homebrew D&D.
Mhm.
The way that I made the battle mage, at least my character Gundren, which by the way, Gundren in the book is my D&D character that I played, Gundren, so Stoneskin.
Okay.
So he is a battle mage. He's gonna have what I remember of his or what I remember of his spells and shit like that, because I lost all those when I got the new phone. But fucking I'm going to actually use him, like when I turn it into a D&D campaign too, or finish the D&D campaign, he is going to be the big bad for the campaign using all my stats and everything from when I played him.
Yeah.
Because I'm an asshole and I made a broken wizard.
Well, you made a wizard that can hold a shield. That's what you made.
And a spear.
And a spear.
And his magical focus is rune tattoos that are tattooed on his body, so he can never lose focus.
I mean, we should be used to you being nuts when it comes to D&D. You're playing 2 fucking characters.
And I have like 4 more planned.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
Yeah. I have another character that I want to do in a different campaign. Basically, Saphira with less intelligence and more aggression.
Yeah. I mean, the ruffian
I've had an
class.
idea for a barbarian for years.
The ruffian class isn't like the ruffian class figure. Have you guys? Well, I know Alan, you have, but Oda, have you seen Snatch?
No.
I love that
Oh
movie.
well. Basically, truthfully, the brawler ruffian is essentially just fucking Brad Pitt's character, or not Brad Pitt.
It's Brad Pitt, One Punch Mickey.
Yeah,
That's
Mickey.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I haven't seen the movie. Okay.
No. So, Guy Ritchie's my favorite director.
He's such
So,
an
like, I
amazing
love
guy.
the way he takes 7 different storylines and they all converge in the middle, and then you have the end. But you should definitely watch Snatch if you can pay attention to multiple storylines at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll DM you. Big
Oh my. Okay, question though.
Well, it's like
Sorry. I was just asking. I'm gonna ask Chef. Between Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch, which one do you like more?
Snatch.
You like Snatch more?
Snatch.
Okay.
Snatch is my favorite Guy Ritchie movie. Second place, believe it or not, and this is unpopular opinion, is King Arthur
Wait.
with
why?
Charlie Hunnam. Why? What?
Why?
Why is it my second favorite Guy Ritchie movie?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
I actually like it.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it's like one of the ones that
For-
was just so out of realm for what he usually does.
No, was it? It was not out of realm at all. He took King Arthur's story and turned it into Snatch. Or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, or fucking whatever. The only difference is that King Arthur is a fucking hooligan before he turns into the fucking king of fucking England.
True. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I
He-
saw Guy Ritchie's take on it and I enjoyed it. It's just, it seemed very different from what he normally did in the beginning. At
I
least
mean,
to-
it was one of his very few forays into fantasy.
True. I guess
But I
for
mean,
me,
I
seemed-
love it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it seemed like he was being more contemporary in that film.
A little bit, but also at the same time, the character, not charisma.
Chemistry.
Them meshing together.
Yeah, the chemistry. Their
Chemistry. Thank you. That goddamn subject in high school.
Yeah.
The character chemistry was actually really good. And the thing I loved about that version of it is you saw more in depth how he got the love of the people versus I pulled a sword out of a stone and now I'm king. Yay!
King, we didn't vote for you. No, it's no way of supporting a government just because some watery tot threw a sword at you.
Written press. We need to keep this for the peasants. I think we're losing Oda with all these movie references.
Yep.
Just so you know, that was Monty Python.
And the Holy Grail. Oh,
Ellie-
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holy Grail.
Yeah, that was the Holy Grail. That wasn't Life of Brian or anything, which would have been fucking hilarious. Or Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1.
Yep. Still hasn't given us part 2.
Yes, he has.
Has he? Spaceballs?
It went straight to Hulu.
Oh.
No, not Spaceballs. History of the World Part 2.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to go watch that.
It came straight out to Hulu.
Oh.
But supposedly it's fucking great. But video games.
Yes, let's get
More
back
shitty
on
video games.
topic with video games with bad endings, video games with disappointing mechanics and disappointing DLCs.
Or DLCs that made the game look like shit.
Or, yeah, DLCs that ruined the game. Which,
There's been a few
Oh, yeah.
that made the game look like shit.
Yeah, we see. We already talked about how I don't know. It's like I'm trying to think. One game that actually really was bad. I don't know if you played it. Diablo 3.
I've played
Okay,
that.
so I have a contentious relationship with Diablo 3, and after you explain why it's a shitty game and everything, I will tell you why I do not play Diablo 3.
All right, let's hear this.
One, the true primeval, the real money auction house.
Oh, man. Anyone who knows that game, you know what he's talking about.
Also, you can't tell me they didn't screw the loot tables up to encourage that use because Blizzard got a share every time they did it. They took a big percentage of each sale.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every game that has a real money auction house or microtransactions does the same thing.
Yeah, they're gonna take money from it.
Yeah, no, they took a lot versus most as the thing.
Well, I mean,
But
that's
also, the storyline was about as clear cut as a roller coaster. The ending was WTF with a capital F. And then they came out with the expansion I never bothered playing because, oh my god, you went from some normal guy who got stuck in this area to, oh my god.
Which expansion? Are you talking about Reaper of Souls or are you talking about the other one?
The Reaper of Souls is the only one I knew of.
They came out with one after Reaper of Souls. It was a small one, but yeah.
Didn't that one,
Yeah.
was that one named?
Oh, it tanked hard. Yeah, it was named.
The other problem I had with it was, I never like games. This is actually my problem with Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns. I don't like games that are designed to be played 3 times
Yes,
with
I
the same
hate those.
character. And that's how they get their difficulty. You can't select Nightmare. And the thing is, Nightmare difficulty isn't difficult to be difficult. It's difficult because they just padded the numbers so that it takes you longer.
Yep. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Diablo. But, so,
All right.
the reason I stopped...
I'm not done. I have my biggest complaint left. The fact that there was no offline mode.
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
bring that down because your voice just gets distorted every time you do that nonsense.
The fact that there's no offline
Sorry.
mode.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, I actually gotta replace this thing. Actually,
Yeah,
I noticed
no,
that
no
yesterday during
offline,
stream.
no offline
Yeah.
mode sucked ass.
Mm-hmm.
A single player game without an offline mode always has and always will piss me off.
Well, that's the problem.
Because-
Most of them are going that way now.
Yeah, there's like,
I know.
if I remember correctly, the majority of games that came out in 2023 and 2024 are all online connected in some way, even though they are single-player games. The only thing that you can
The
do
thing
is opt out from their data agreement so that they can't share your data. That's it, which is dumb.
But if you have
The
no
thing is-
internet connection, they won't let you play.
Nope, you can't touch the game.
Seriously.
No, yeah, seriously. You can't play without an internet connection, which makes no sense for a single-player game. What the fuck is that?
The
That's
only
also
reason
the marketing of a moron, because there's a lot of people, like, I live in a place where once a month, maybe twice on a weekend, actually part of my, I realized if I started streaming, I lose internet for 3 to 4 hours because they're fixing something.
That sucks. And, like, not everyone has access to that kind of stability. And it's just like, why? Why are you doing that? At this point, you're going to limit gaming to being something that's for the elite.
I mean, they're already trying to do that
Oh,
with
I know.
$80 games and shit.
Ain't
But,
that some bullshit, right?
Actually, with how everything else has gone up, video games have actually been rather consistent.
well, so for like Xbox going from 50 to 60 to 70 to 80, it all happened in generations of consoles.
Mhm.
Which I attribute to Phil Spencer having a massive part of that to keep game prices down. Because you have companies like EA, Ubisoft, fucking EA and Ubisoft are the main ones who are wanting to charge. Rockstar is the other one that they want to charge you per hour that you play.
Ain't that some bullshit?
That is a really good way of having a game not work.
That's a
I
really
can
good way to
see
have the entire gaming community go
Rockstar
to
came
indie.
out and said that. Rockstar
I mean,
actually.
it was bad what happened with Helldivers. Charge me per hour to play a freaking game,
Well,
and then guarantee it's probably gonna suck.
the CEO of Rockstar came and in a press conference said that gamers should be used to not owning their games, only the licensing, and they should be okay with them being taken away at any time. And truthfully, they should be charged per hour because that's how much enjoyment they have in the game. And there's also rumors out there that GTA 6 is only going to be available with a subscription to Rockstar, GTA Plus.
Which is kind of bullshit, because it's like, do I pay fucking, like, the Kia per hour to drive their fucking car? No.
I mean, it's Rockstar though. It's Rockstar that they make the most asinine fucking financial choices for their games anyway.
Oh yeah, look at what they did with
I
their
mean-
fucking what are those things called in GTA? Those charge cards or whatever they called.
The shark cards.
The shark cards, that shit.
I may or may not have bought a few. Dude,
You know what?
as hardcore as I was into Call of Duty, I was that hardcore into GTA too.
Okay. I can't blame you.
Yeah. Let's drift into a very interesting one now. Mobile games that are gotcha.
Well, before we get there, I still haven't told you why I don't play Diablo anymore.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
And I did also
This
want
is
to
a
bring up
funny
a
story,
game that
actually.
I actually hate after this too.
Diablo 3. I was struggling with the game, and one of my friends at the time, he's like, "Oh, I'll join you. I'll give you a bunch of armor and shit like that." This is before I knew anything about the game, truthfully. So he came in and dropped me a bunch of shit, and everything socketed in all this armor were white gems. So, basic ones. Here's the problem. My companion, because I had a animal companion because I was playing a demon hunter, was doing hundreds of thousands of damage.
Oh.
it was modded equipment. When I went to go fight Diablo, I loaded in, and before the screen even got done loading in, my hog ran up, one tap Diablo, came back, end of game. And then they
had
released
no
the first
idea, huh?
update. No. Well, I knew eventually, but at the same time, I was just like, okay, this makes the game so much more fun. Because with the Demon Archer, I literally had 2 crossbows, and I just held down the trigger because my shit recharged so fast that I was just... It was like playing fucking Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And like they released the first update, and they're like, and we're taking away all the modded equipment. I'm like, well, I'm never playing this game again. So technically, my Demon Archer still is broken as fuck because I never loaded the game back up.
Never let it update. Nice. So,
but before we get to your game, I will say one thing, and we don't even have to discuss it. Anything after Resident Evil 2. Or no. Which one was it? The one where you go to Africa and they're no longer zombies. It's 4? Is that when it was?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, no.
The one where they start being parasites and shit.
So 4 is when they start being parasites, and then 5 is where they go to Africa.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I hated when they got away from the zombies, the zombie aspect in Resident Evil.
Yeah, I can see what you mean with that one.
Resident Evil was zombies.
Yeah.
It was zombies. It was always zombies.
It should have stayed zombies.
I get away from zombies.
But yeah, no, I did want to.
If The Walking Dead can make like 17 seasons out of zombies, so can fucking Resident Evil.
Right. No, but I did want to bring up a game that was highly disappointing comparative to its predecessors. And it makes me sad because I played through the entire game. I even have a playthrough on my YouTube about it. I just didn't enjoy it. And that's Darksiders 3. Darksiders 1 and 2...
Oh, that was the worst one in the series.
Yeah. 1 and 2 were great, but 3 was just horrible. Not just because 1, Fury was honestly a really badly done character. The mechanics of 3 were just boring as fuck. And it's just, it makes me sad because I've played 1, 2, and 3. I
never finished it.
Yeah, well,
it was so bad I couldn't finish it.
I had to finish it because I'm doing a series on it. And honestly, I keep going back to it. And out of all of them, I love 2. But out of all of them, 1 was the most fun out of all of them. And it still is.
I mean, that's pretty standard for video games of that era where, the original's the best. I mean, just like movies, just like comic books, just like books, stuff like that. Like, there's very few sequels that are as good. Halo 3 is my favorite Halo, but I mean, Halo 1 is where it started.
But you know what game does circumvent that? Or actually breaks the mold in a sense in that one?
I mean, technically Halo 3, that's what I was saying.
Well, that,
yeah.
but I was also going to bring up God of War.
Every God of War is good. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, Oda?
1, Final Fantasy. They came out during the PlayStation 1 and 2 era, banger after banger after banger.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but that was before sequels really started sucking.
2, this was a PlayStation 2 game that killed a franchise. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter.
Don't
I remember that game.
Ever,
oh my god,
ever mention that game ever again.
That game was so bad.
Remember how I said the main reason why I didn't like a mechanic from Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns?
Uh-huh.
Dragon Quarter is why. I loved I stumbled across Breath of Fire 3, and it was one of my favorite PlayStation games. it's up there with Final Fantasy VII, or it was until I played Dragon Quarter. Dragon Quarter was so bad, it ruined my love of the franchise. And I never beat the game because it's another one of those die, restart bullcraps. It's designed for you to take needlessly repetitive runs through the game in order to actually experience the game.
It was a slog
Uh,
fest. It was a fucking
I'm that
slog
way.
fest.
I'm that way with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was great up until the second or third game that came out for the original Xbox.
Okay, but is it really
and
fair?
then it went super downhill once they started killing main characters.
True.
You know, like I think it was 10, or it might have, yeah, I think it was either 9 or 10. 9 or 10 they killed Reptile.
And then they brought
Uh
and then they turned fucking Liu Kang into a god.
well, that's the newest one. That's
Well,
Resident.
first they made him a bad guy, then they made him a
Right,
guy.
they turned him into a bad guy, then a god, which is just like they just
Like I get you
They
gotta
made him a bad guy.
I will say this. Mortal Kombat 1 is a good concept on how to reinvent and reboot a franchise.
Okay.
Because at the end of 11, that's when Liu Kang became a god and restarted the timeline. So that way you have new mix of characters, new sequences in the timeline, new things. So the Mortal Kombat 1, because they called it 1 after fucking 11 for some goddamn reason.
I thought they just
Actually,
called
I
it
know
Mortal
why it is.
Kombat.
No, it's called Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Because
Really?
the original game is Mortal Kombat.
Okay, so that's why.
So
okay.
since Liu Kang rebooted the franchise, basically, it is called Mortal Kombat 1 to symbolize restarting it. But the problem is, for those of us who grew up on the original cast, the original shit, everything like that, you just turned everything on its fucking head. Like, and that and the fatalities have gotten so fucking gory and stupid that I can't even watch half of them.
I mean, I remember when we were just happy with your head going up and landing down the bottom of the pit on a spike.
Well,
Or when you uppercutted the dude's head off on that one map and it hit the spike on the ceiling and stayed there.
it almost felt like they took a lot of the fun out of it, like the whoopsie and
They did. They really did.
right? The animalities, the babalities, and all of those.
Well, first off, I was never a huge fan of the I can never say that fucking word.
Animalities.
Animalities. I was never a huge fan of those anyway. In the later games,
Mhm.
like when it was still like the
Number
Super
2.
Nintendo and the Sega and all that fun shit, like when it was still that and you had to put in the code for fucking blood mode and all that shit, that was like peak Mortal Kombat for me. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Oh yeah.
And
1 and 2 were my favorites.
exactly, 1 and 2 were the best. I don't care what anybody says. Fucking a little bit of Mortal Kombat lore, because like original 2 Mortal Kombats, I am fucking massive fan for.
Okay.
You remember Reptile?
Yes.
Reptile in 1, how he was a secret character,
Mhm.
because and the only way you could unlock him in 1 was the cheats. In 2, you had to beat the game and then you unlocked him.
Yeah.
He wasn't meant to be in the game. He was essentially Mortal Kombat's Missingo.
Oh shit! So he was leftover coding.
He was leftover coding that was going to be a character that they scrapped, but they couldn't fully remove the coding because it would have broke the game. So they left him in there, and if you put the cheat code in, it completed the code, and then you got to play as a green Sub-Zero with the same moveset, just not ice.
Nice. And also, for those of you who don't know, for the younger crowd, when it came down to how cheat codes worked back in the day, that's literally what you did. The sequence of buttons that you pressed added in or completed missing codecs that were in the actual cartridges that created something that either wasn't meant to be there or was an Easter egg that the creators put there.
Okay. Okay. Before we move on, I have a question for all three of us gamers.
Okay.
We are all old gamers from the era where you had cheat codes. Aside from the Konami code, which we all know, what is a cheat code and what does it do that you remember?
Up, down, left, right, hold the A, press start.
What game and what does it do?
Sonic 1 debug code menu.
Yes, I remember that as well.
For me, it is. What is it? Down, left. Sorry. Down, left, and A. Down, left, A, B.
Game and what it does?
Mega Man X unlocks the Hadouken.
R1, R2, L1, L2, left down, right up, left down, right up.
What is that one?
Infinite health and armor in Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, the original Grand Theft Auto, the top-down one.
Not the original one. That was San Andreas.
Oh, okay.
Because you had it on the PlayStation controller. R1, R2, L1, L2.
Oh.
Left down, right up, left down, right up.
Okay.
You also had R1, R2, L1, L2, up, down, up, down, up, down, or left, right, left, right, left, right to give you, and different sequences, because there were 3 different weapons cheats that you could do to get 3 different sets of weapons, whether it be the low-level weapons, the mid-level weapons, or the high-level weapons. Then you also had the R1, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up was infinite ammo.
Oh, shit. All right. Okay, so I got a question for all of you then. In a similar line. When it comes down to games with cheats and games that you've played with cheats, what is one that you played and the cheats made the game funner?
Like all of them?
I can't remember. I think it was the first Grand Theft Auto that was 3D.
Vice City.
Vice City, yeah.
And spawning in a tank.
Vice City. That was definitely Vice City. You couldn't do that in 3.
Nah, but Vice City was fun with that one. So for me, it would definitely have to be GoldenEye.
Paintball mode.
Paintball mode, big head mode. There were so many different modes.
Infinite ammo, fucking
Slaps.
Oh God.
Everybody's
Slaps
got golden
well,
guns.
Slaps was a game mode. That wasn't a cheat.
Yeah, but that was still
The
fun.
thing is, half of that stuff was actually just game modes.
Paintball wasn't. Paintball was a cheat.
Yeah.
But Big Heads was a game mode.
No, you could choose it from the game menu for the cheats.
Yeah, you have to
Once you
activate the
unlocked
cheat.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember just doing it. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was one of the file folders. So like if you beat the cheats for GoldenEye, if you remember, were unlocked by beating certain missions with certain difficulties.
Oh, that's why I didn't consider them cheats, because you actually got them without doing a weird button combination.
Yeah, it literally.
They were achievements.
Essentially.
Yeah,
It's
there were
kinda like
achievements
the
before
Halo.
achievements were a thing.
It's kind of like the skulls in Halo. They're part of the game, and you could find them and all that fun shit before Master Chief Collection gave you the menu.
Mm-hmm.
But once you unlock them by doing that difficulty in GoldenEye, you could go to a different file folder that was literally labeled cheats.
You're a cheat.
So that's why they're still technically considered cheat codes.
Okay.
Do you remember the code that gave you the armor for Mega Man X?
I never played any of the Mega Mans.
Wait. Which armor?
It's the one that allows you to basically turn sideways, become an energy bird, and fly across the screen infinitely? And it would wreck the crap out of everything?
Yes. The absolute win armor. All right.
No, so for me, the games that were better with cheats, any Grand Theft Auto where you could do cheats. That just made it so much more fun to create as much chaos as possible.
So, did you ever play the Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, the ones that were top-down?
Yeah, I mean, I played them after I had already played Vice City.
Ah,
Vice
damn
City
it.
was my first foray into Grand Theft Auto. I wasn't allowed to play them.
Oh, right. No, I'm just saying, like, it's hard to go backwards with certain games like that. For me, there's like a nostalgia era feeling of it. But there was also something amazing in Grand Theft Auto 2 when you worked with the Russians and the Smileys, who were the two gangs that were in the game. You could take a bus full of the Russians, take them to the Smileys' factory, and guess what happened to them?
Death.
They got turned into sausages.
Would you like to hear a very interesting fact about me in Grand Theft Auto games?
What's that?
Sure.
I have never done a mission in Grand Theft Auto.
You just fuck around?
I spawned in a tank and went around for 4 hours being chased. If in the original Grand Theft Auto they had a tank, and the same thing worked in the original as they did in Vice City. If you aim the gun behind you, it actually pushes you over the cop cars.
Oh, that's still a thing. Like in Grand Theft Auto 4, it's there in 6. That's 5. Jesus Christ. Grand Theft Auto 5, it's still the same. It's still a thing.
6 is coming out, and it's going to be $100 and something game.
Yeah. But
Thank you.
the number one game that I found more fun with cheat codes, Blood Mode in original Mortal Kombat.
Classic. Now this, I do
Yeah.
hate to say it, is a good place to end today's episode of A Bunch of Goofs. I do appreciate all of y'all for being here, for hanging out and doing all that. And of course, please do look forward to this being posted on YouTube soon. I'm actually going to be working on an intro and an outro, thanks to some feedback from my co-hosts here. And of course, let's find someone to raid before we end out.
I think we kept the plot for half of the stream.
Yeah, we tried. We tried. You know.
I mean, we mostly stayed on task with video games.
We did.
Yeah.
All right, so... Ouch. We are going to be rating out Mr. Z... Or, I don't know. Like, we're going to be rating out Xeno Squirrel.
I'll Xeno your squirrel.
Oh, God. So, thank you all so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate y'all. And, of course, please do show up again next week for another Bunch of Goofs livecast podcast where we'll be talking about gaming and ADHD. Thank you all so much, and please show Xeno Squirrel the same amount of love that y'all have shown me, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
I don't know what HD stands for, but I got 80 of them.
Everybody, that's the end of today's episode of Bunch of Goofs. I hope you enjoyed, and of course, let's say thank you to our cast, Asian Fasha Gamer, Audacia, and Hey, I'm Chef. Thank you so much, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.